This video is dedicated to veterans who are thinking about moving to Kansas City, Missouri, as well as those veterans who live in the state of Missouri. In this video, we're going to walk you through the benefits that are available to veterans in the state of Missouri, and we are going to cover employee benefits, financial assistance benefits, educational benefits, homeless veterans benefits, tax benefits, division of vehicle benefits, parks and recreation benefits, miscellaneous benefits, housing benefits. And I'm saving the housing benefits for last because those are my personal favorites, so you're going to want to stay till the end of this video so you won't miss them. Now, if you are a veteran, I want to express my deepest thanks and gratitude for your service and everything you've done for this country. By the way, let me know in the comments below what you served in and if you served any tours. I have a son-in-law who was in Special Forces who served a tour in Afghanistan, and I'm pleased to say he came back in one piece. By the way, my name is Chris Pucci with the Living in Kansas City real estate team. So if you're thinking about making a move to Kansas City, then whether you're moving in 9 days, 90 days, or 9 months, feel free to reach out. Feel free to send us a text, shoot us an email, give us a call, or better yet, schedule a Zoom call. If you know when you're separating from the service and you want to plan a little bit in advance, we're here to help you make that smooth transition to civilian life. And even if you're not moving to the Kansas City area, but are looking to move in Missouri, Kansas, or elsewhere in the United States, we can refer you to one of our many referral partners, and they will take exceptional care of you. So let's begin this video by talking about employee benefits. Benefits under employment include the Work Opportunity Tax Credit, which is a federal tax credit incentive that Congress provides to private sector businesses for hiring individuals from 9 targeted groups, including unemployed veterans who have consistently faced significant barriers to employment. Now, the main objective of this program is to enable the targeted employees to gradually move from economic dependency into self-sufficiency as they earn a steady income and become contributing taxpayers, while the participating employers are compensated by being able to reduce their federal income tax liability. Another benefit is the state contract and business preference for service-connected disabled veterans. In bidding for jobs or services with the state of Missouri, preference will be given to disabled veteran businesses doing business as Missouri firms, corporations, or individuals, or which maintain Missouri offices or places of business, when the quality of performance promised is equal or better and the price quoted is the same or less. Then we have the Missouri First Small Business Low Interest Loans for Veterans. Any small business can participate in the Missouri Link Deposit Program. Eligibility is any business owned by an honorably discharged veteran and Missouri resident who agrees to locate their business in the state for at least 3 years and employs less than 100 employees, and a majority of whom are Missouri residents. Participating lending institutions must give priority to veteran-owned businesses when considering which small businesses should receive reduced-rate loans. A veteran who receives a small business loan through the Link Deposit Program must also complete a Boots to Business program approved by the Department of Economic Development and be assigned a mentor for 365 days following the loan approval date and must meet at least once every 90 days. Then we have the Veterans Employee and Training Services. This provides veterans and transitioning service members with resources and services to succeed by maximizing their employment opportunities, protecting their employment rights, and meeting labor market demands with qualified veterans. We have an on-the-job or OJT training and apprentice program. Veterans, Guard members, reservists, or a dependent of a veteran may be eligible to receive a monthly educational benefit from the VA. The OJT is received while performing a job or earning wages, and the OJT programs must be at least 6 months and may be up to 2 years in length. Apprenticeship training is an on-the-job training with 144 hours minimum per year of related technical instruction. You receive your GI Bill benefit while working full-time and earning wages. Then we have what's called the Show Me Heroes program offering on-the-job training. This benefit is to help businesses save costs while preparing new hires for vital jobs. Most service members who are honorably discharged and are within 5 years of their discharge date, or spouses of currently deployed or recently discharged eligible service members within 5 years of their discharge date, can participate. Unemployment compensation for military spouses. includes individuals who quit work to relocate due to their spouse's military change in station. For instance, a trailing military spouse. They are potentially eligible for unemployment benefits. If a trailing military spouse quits work to relocate to a residence from which it is impractical to commute to the workplace, and remains employed as long as reasonable prior to the move, he or she may be eligible for unemployment benefits so long as he or she meets the other employment eligibility criteria. And we have the Missouri State Employees Retirement System, MOSERS, which benefits veterans. Several benefits are provided to the state employees who are veterans or are deployed. Veterans may be eligible to purchase up to 4 years of active military service credit performed prior to their last becoming a member of MOSERS. This includes active military training. If you elect to purchase your active duty military service, you must purchase all that you serve, total months and days, up to a maximum of 4 years. State employees who are called to active duty may receive credit for active duty military service. They can also continue to have life insurance coverage for 1 year and long-term disability coverage for 1 year, provided they continue to pay for that coverage. Now, there is time off for Civil Air Patrol and Coast Guard auxiliary duties. So any state employee or employee of a business with more than 50 workers and who is a member of the Civil Air Patrol or United States Coast Guard Auxiliary may be granted a leave of absence without loss of time, pay, regular leave, negative ratings, or any other rights or benefits entitled when performing duties for CAP or USCG for up to 15 days in any fiscal year, or unlimited time in response to a state or national emergencies in the state of Missouri. Our next category has to do with financial assistance and benefits. So we have the Missouri Military Family Relief Fund, which is a state-administered fund which assists families of currently serving members of the Missouri National Guard Reserves of the Armed Forces of the United States and or Missouri residents who are currently serving members of the National Guard Reserves of the Armed Forces of the United States. Applicants can receive a grant up to $3,000 based on the recommendation of a review panel. Eligibility is Missouri National Guard or a Missouri resident reserve component member who hold rank with no higher than O3 or W2, have not received a previous grant from this fund within the last 12 months, and have not had a situation that requires a monetary resolution in less than a week. Now, we also have the Missouri Association for Community Action. This group is a statewide association of 19 community action agencies that provide critical services to families and communities. They assist with child care so parents can obtain education to improve their job opportunities, find solutions to transportation obstacles so people can get to work, weatherize homes to reduce energy costs, and help families save to buy homes of their own, and help families work their way to self-sufficiency. Another benefit, Missouri Universal Service Fund Low Income Weatherization System Program. This department administers federal funds to statewide network of 19 local weatherization agencies. These agencies provide weatherization services to eligible clients as well as training and guidance. Educational benefits. The Montgomery GI Bill is available for those who enlist in the U.S. Armed Forces. The MGIB encompasses both the Montgomery GI Bill, Active Duty, Chapter 30, and the Montgomery GI Bill, Selected Reserve, Chapter 1606. Now, the post 9/11 GI Bill, Chapter 33, helps you pay for school or job training. If you served on active duty after September 10, 2001, you may qualify for the post 9/11 GI Bill, Chapter 33. Now, there is what's called the Missouri Returning Heroes Education Act. Honorably discharged veterans who served in a combat action zone and who are residents of Missouri may be eligible for the Missouri Returning Heroes Education Act. This allows eligible veterans to attend public colleges or universities and limit their tuition to $50 per credit hour once all other financial aid is taken into account when enrolled into an undergraduate certificate or degree program. If enrolled in a graduate certificate or degree program, the tuition is not to exceed 30% of the cost of tuition and fees at the public college or university. And there's the War Veteran Survivor Grant Program. These grants are available annually to children and spouses spouses of veterans whose death or injuries were a result of combat action or were attributed to an illness that was contracted while serving in a combat action, or who became 80% disabled as a result of injuries or accidents sustained in combat action since September 11, 2001. The veteran must have been a Missouri resident when first entering the military service or at the time of death or injury. Then we have in-state tuition eligibility for discharged service members. Anyone separating from the U.S. military service with an honorable or general discharge who declares presence and residency in Missouri will be considered a resident of Missouri for admission purposes and tuition at approved public 4-year and 2-year institutions of higher education. If attending a community college, presence within the taxing district of the community college must also be declared. In-state tuition eligibility for military dependents. A dependent of an active duty military member who is residing in Missouri and whose service member is assigned to a permanent duty in the state is eligible for in-state tuition as long as they continuously enroll in an undergraduate or graduate program of a Missouri higher education institution. Eligibility determination will be made at the time the dependent is accepted for admission. Then there's in-state tuition eligibility for National Guard and Reserve. Current members of the Missouri National Guard and members of a reserve component of the Armed Forces of the United States will receive in-state residency status for the purpose of tuition at any public 4-year institution of higher education or in-district residency status for any 2-year public institution. Last but not least, higher education tuition refunds when called to active duty. So students at public higher education institutions who are members of the National Guard or the Armed Forces Reserves and are called to active service under certain circumstances are eligible for tuition refunds or for a grade of incomplete. This chapter has to do with homeless veterans benefits. So Missouri VA Homeless Veteran Program. Each VA medical center in Missouri has a homeless veterans coordinator. The coordinator provides information about the services for the Veterans Health Administration. Each facility is unique and services vary among each medical center. Homeless veterans in need of assistance after hours when the coordinator is unavailable should contact the VA Medical Center's emergency room. Then we have the VA Homeless Veterans Initiative. This is a VA call center for homeless veterans to ensure homeless veterans or veterans that are at risk for homelessness have free 24/7 access to trained counselors. The hotline is intended to assist homeless veterans and their families, the VA medical centers, federal, state, and local partners, community agencies, service providers, and others in the community. Now, the Missouri substitute address for homeless veterans program is, unless otherwise prohibited by law, a homeless veteran may use a charitable, religious, fraternal, or veterans organization as a substitute mailing address to receive state or federal assistance if the organization meets the following. The purpose of the organization is to provide charitable, religious, fraternal, or veteran services. The organization has been providing these services for more than 10 years, and the organization is willing to be the substitute address for the homeless veteran. And then we have free criminal background checks for homeless veterans' employment. The Missouri State Highway Patrol, as the designated Missouri State Identification Bureau, will provide at no cost a criminal background check in connection with gaining employment, housing, or any other service for any homeless former member of the Armed Forces who has been honorably discharged. In this chapter, we're going to talk about the tax benefits. So the Missouri Department of Revenue has a military liaison to assist military personnel with questions about Missouri income tax and other issues. Now, income tax deduction from military retirement pension beginning January 1st, 2016, all military retirement pension income will be 100% deductible from Missouri income tax. Income tax deduction for National Guard and Reserves beginning January 2020 is 20% of the income received in performance of inactive duty for training of the National Guard or annual training status of the National Guard or in reserve components of the Armed Forces of the United States will be exempt from Missouri state taxes. This deduction will increase 20% annually until January 2024 when all the National Guard or reserve component military income will be tax-free. The property tax exempt for total service. connected disability POWs. Any citizen of Missouri who is a former prisoner of war as defined by law and who has a total service-connected disability shall be exempt from owning taxes on all real estate property used as homestead as defined by law. Missouri state income tax exemption for active duty members. Any military income earned as compensation for being a member of the active duty component of the armed forces may be deducted from their person's Missouri adjusted gross income to determine that individual's Missouri taxable income. Property tax receipt waiver for out-of-state military. Military applicants who did not receive their renewal notice and are stationed outside of the state of Missouri are eligible for a waiver of their property tax receipt verification requirement if the applicant provides a leave and earnings statement which does not indicate Missouri as his or her home of record. Personal property tax credit. The Missouri property tax credit claim gives credit to certain senior citizens and certain 100% disabled individuals for a portion of the real estate taxes or rent paid for the year. If you are 100% disabled as a result of military service, you are not required to include your veteran payments and benefits when filling out tax credit application. You must attach a letter from the Veterans Administration that states you are 100% disabled as a military result of military service. Now, the credit is for a maximum of $750 for renters and $1,100 for owners who owned and occupied their home. If you rent a facility that does not pay property taxes, you are not eligible for property tax credit. Then there's a sales tax exemption for equipment to modify vehicles for use by individuals with disabilities. So equipment purchased to modify a vehicle to be used by an individual with disabilities is exempt from sales tax. To receive this exemption, the applicant, when titling the vehicle at the Department of Revenue or License Office, must present an invoice or other documentation showing the vehicle and the equipment price separately in order for the equipment to be exempt. In this chapter, we're going to discuss vehicle benefits. So, motorcycle driving exam exemption. An active duty member of the United States Armed Forces who successfully completes a military motorcycle rider training course that meets or exceeds the Motorcycle Safety Foundation curriculum standards will not be required to take further driving tests to obtain a motorcycle or motor tricycle license or endorsement. Now, the commercial exam CDL exemptions. Missouri allows active duty military or retired military personnel to complete an application for waiver of skills and written testing to obtain a commercial driver's license. An applicant must have a minimum of 60 days active duty driving experience in a commercial motor vehicle for the military within 2 years prior to the date of application for waiver. The application is available online or acquired at the local licensing office. A veteran may apply to the Department of Revenue to obtain a state driver's license or identification card showing veteran designation. Then we have vehicle registration renewal and required documents. Military applicants may renew an expired motor vehicle registration up to 60 days after completion of military service without a renewal penalty. Titling and inspections. Military applicants may authorize another individual to sign the general affidavit, a DOR 768, indicating the vehicle is out of the state and will be inspected within 10 days of returning to Missouri if applicable. Military applicants are allowed 180 days from completion of military service before a title penalty is assessed on the purchase of a motor vehicle, trailer, boat, outboard motor, all-terrain vehicle, or manufactured home. Specialty plates. Missouri has over 30 different types of military and veteran personalized license plates available to qualified individuals. Any surviving spouse of an individual who would have been eligible to obtain a United States Armed Forces, Coast Guard, Merchant Marines, Reserves, Missouri National Guard, or United States Marine Corps may obtain a plate as long as the spouse does not remarry. Now, there is a certification renewal exemption for disabled plates and place cards. A person who presents proof of permanent disability from the United States Veteran Administration is exempt from the 4-year certification requirement for renewal of disabled license plates or place cards. Initial applicants must include a physician statement confirming the individual's disability. This section has to do with hunting and fishing permit exemptions. So veterans and active personnel, or honorably discharged veterans, or active personnel who have a service-related disability of 60% or greater, or were a prisoner of war during military service and are assigned as a patient to a Warrior Transition Brigade, a Warrior Transition Unit, or military medical center, may fish and hunt, except deer and turkey, without a permit. You must, however, carry a certified statement of eligibility from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs or order showing assignment to a Warrior Transition Brigade or a Warrior Transition Unit, or carrying an admission of verification to a military medical center. Now, resident permit qualifications for military veterans and federal employees. Any members of the U.S. Armed Forces stationed and residing in Missouri on permanent change of station status, or any member of the U.S. military currently assigned to a patient as a patient to a Warrior Transition Brigade, a Warrior Transition Unit, or a military medical center must carry orders showing assignment to a Warrior Transition Brigade or Warrior Transition Unit or admissions verification to a military medical center while hunting and purchasing permits. Missouri residents employed by the United States in the District of Columbia or serving in the United States Armed Forces, immediate family members who reside with them may also purchase resident permits. Guard and Reserve Small Game Hunting and Fishing Permit. This permit is for residents of Missouri who are currently or have in the previous 12 months been mobilized and serving on full-time active military duty in either the National Guard or the Reserve Forces of the United States to chase, pursue, take, possess, and transport fish, frogs, mussels, clams, turtles, crayfish, live bait, birds, except turkeys, and mammals, except deer, and to sell fur bearers taken by hunting. There is a $5 fee. This section deals with miscellaneous benefits. So we have the Missouri Military and Overseas Voting Access Portal. So military and overseas voters can take advantage of the Missouri Military Overseas Voting Access Portal to register to vote, request an absentee ballot, and to receive an absentee ballot quickly and securely. Using the Missouri Military and Overseas Voting Access Portal, eligible voters who submit an absentee ballot request through the portal will receive an absentee ballot for each election in which the absentee voting is conducted through December 31st of the following year. Voters located in combat zones, hostile fire or imminent danger areas will also be able to securely send their marked ballots to their local election authority. Registering to vote after the deadline. If you have been discharged from military service, have returned from a military deployment or activation, or has separated from employment outside the territorial limits of the United States after the deadline to register to vote and are otherwise qualified to register to vote, you may register to vote in person before the election authority until 5 p.m. on the Friday before the election, providing documentation showing evidence of qualifying for late registration. You may also vote on Election Day without prior registration for federal and state issues at your polling place with a federal postcard application. Now we have the Missouri Veteran Awards Program. This program provides a medal, medallion, and certification to Missouri residents who served in the following conflicts: World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Iraq Freedom, and New Dawn. World War II veterans who participated in D-Day invasion of Europe are also eligible to receive a replica of the Jubilee of Liberty Memorial. Missouri National Guard members may also apply for these medals whether or not they were residents of Missouri. Veterans, spouses of veterans, or the eldest living survivor of veterans who meet the requirements can also apply. This is the last section, and it's my favorite, and in my opinion, it's the most important VA benefit, and that has to do with the VA loan. So did you know you can actually have more than one VA loan? Well, you can. But now I'm not going to go into it in any detail here, but if you want to know more, feel free to reach out, send a text, shoot us an email, call, or better yet, schedule a Zoom call. That said, I'm going to give you an overview of the VA loan. Now, VA loans are available to eligible veterans, active duty service members, and surviving spouses. VA loans are backed by the U.S. government, which means lenders are less likely to lose money should a borrower default on the loan. This makes VA loans more attractive to lenders, which can lead to lower interest rates as well as more favorable terms. VA loans do not require a down payment, though you can make one if you like. This can be, though, a major benefit for veterans who do not have a lot of money saved up for a down payment. VA loans do not require private mortgage insurance, or PMI. PMI is a type of insurance that is required on conventional loans with less than 20% down and FHA loans. loans. PMI can add hundreds of dollars to your monthly mortgage payment. VA loans have more lenient credit and debt-to-income requirements than conventional loans, as well as FHA loans. This means that veterans with less than perfect credit may still be able to qualify for a VA loan. VA loans can be used to purchase a home, build a home, or refinance an existing mortgage. Now, if you get a loan in today's market with rates where they are, later you can actually get what's called an IRRL, an IRRL. That is an interest rate reduction and refinance loan. Try saying that 3 times fast. What it does mean is that after 6 months and every 6 months thereafter, if there is a lower interest rate, you can refinance for almost no charge. That's because the VA wants you to have the lowest possible rate. Now, there is what's called an upfront funding fee, which is added to the loan amount. However, if you have a disability, that can partially or fully eliminate the upfront funding fee. The VA loan requirements are as follows. 1, you must have served 60 consecutive days of active service during wartime, or you served 18 days of active service during peacetime, or you have 6 years of service in the National Guard or Reserves, or served 90 days, at least 30 of them consecutively, under Title 32. And finally, if you are a spouse of a service member who died while serving his country or due to a service-related disability, you are entitled to get a VA loan. So that sums up the veterans benefits for Missouri. For more information, go to the website listed below. And look, if you know of a veteran you think this video would benefit them, please share it with them. We hope you found this helpful, and please feel free to leave a comment below. But as always, please be nice. And we love working with veterans, so if you are thinking of moving, let us help you make a smooth transition. Again, my name is Chris Pucci, and feel free to text, email, call, or better yet, schedule a Zoom call. All the information is below. And again, thank you so much for your service and for watching this video.